So, have you ever asked an AI for something brilliant and gotten back, well, junk? Yeah, you're not alone. In this explainer, we're going to close that gap between what AI promises and what it actually delivers. We're going to take you from being a frustrated user to a real power user who knows how to unlock AI's true potential. Let's dive in.
All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down exactly why AI can be so disappointing. Then, and this is super important, we'll cover a step most people skip, protecting your privacy. After that, it's all about getting great results. We'll unpack a simple formula for writing amazing prompts, look at some advanced tricks, and finish up with a much-needed reality check. You ready? Let's do this. Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it. We've all seen those mind-blowing demos of what AI can do. But when we try it ourselves, the results are kinda lame, right? Well, here's the good news. The problem isn't the AI, it's how we're talking to it. And this brings us to a huge concept called hallucinations. Think of it like this. An AI is an incredible mimic, but it's not a library full of facts. It's just programmed to predict the next logical word. That means it can confidently create information that sounds totally legit, but is completely made up. This is probably the biggest hurdle we have to get over. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates that disconnect. You ask for a detailed, killer marketing plan, hoping for something genius. What you get back is a bland paragraph of generic advice that feels like it was ripped from the first page of a Google search. That's the exact frustration we're here to solve today. Now, just like AI can be careless with facts, it can be just as careless with your data if you're not careful. So before we even think about writing better prompts, we have to talk about security. Seriously, this is a step most people just blow right past, but it's absolutely non-negotiable, especially if you're working with sensitive info. You know, by default, a lot of AI platforms can actually use your conversations to train their future models. Just let that sink in for a second. Your business plans, your personal questions, your next big idea, all of it could be absorbed into a public AI. Luckily, the big platforms give us a way to opt out. For ChatGPT, it's actually a really simple fix. You just head to Settings, find Data Controls, and flip that little toggle off. It's one tiny click for a huge win in privacy. Over on Google Gemini, the process is pretty much just as easy. You go to your activity settings, find Gemini Apps Activity, and just turn it off. That's it. That stops Google from using your chats for training. Now, Claude is a little different. It's more privacy-focused from the get-go. But, it never hurts to double-check. Just pop into your privacy settings and make sure Help Improve Claude is switched off. Okay, privacy is locked down. Now it's time to fix our prompts for good. Forget about just guessing or typing in random phrases. We're going to use a simple but super powerful framework called PTCF. It stands for Persona, Task, Context, and Format. Think of it as the ultimate blueprint for turning a vague idea into a precise instruction. First up is P for Persona. This is where you tell the AI who it needs to be. Instead of just asking a question, you're giving it a job title. Are you talking to a brilliant copywriter, a cautious safety inspector, a senior software engineer? Defining the persona instantly changes the entire tone and quality of the response. Next, we've got T for task. This is simple. Be direct. Use strong, action-focused verbs. So instead of talk about, you want to say create, analyze, or summarize. Being super specific here is the key to getting a focused answer. C stands for context, and honestly, this is where the real magic happens. Context gives the AI the why behind what you're asking. Who is this for? What background info does it need to know? Are there any rules or limits it needs to follow? This is how you completely avoid those generic one-size-fits-all answers. And finally, F is for format. How do you want the information delivered? Do you need a bulleted list, a simple table, a professional email, heck, even a block of code? By telling the AI the format up front, you're going to save yourself so much time editing later. So let's put it all together. Just look at this example. We've got the persona, a procedure writer, the task, create an outline, the context, for experienced technicians, and the format, a standard SOP structure. A prompt like this is literally 1,000 times better than just asking, how do I install a hybrid engine? It's not even close. So the PTCF formula is awesome for one-off tasks. But what if you're working on a big project? Where you need to keep the style and context consistent across dozens of chats? Well, that's when we need to level up our game. The cool thing is the PTCF framework can scale. For something quick, like defining a term, a simple prompt is all you need. For a task with a few steps, you just add a bit more detail. And for a really complex project, your prompt basically becomes a detailed creative brief that guides the AI every single step of the way.
All right, for a real power user move, let's talk about custom instructions. This feature is an absolute game changer. It lets you set up rules and context that the AI will automatically remember and apply to every single conversation you have from now on. It's amazing.
So how does that work? Well, imagine telling the AI to always use short paragraphs or to always speak in a professional but friendly tone. If you're a coder, you can tell it to always give you Python code with comments. It's like having a personal AI assistant that already knows exactly what you want before you even ask. Okay, we've got our privacy locked down, and we have a powerful way to write prompts. But there's one last, absolutely critical step in this whole process: the human reality check. You can never, and I mean ever, blindly trust what an AI gives you. Remember, you are the final line of defense here. You have to cross-check everything. Ask it for sources, and then actually check those sources. Read through the text to see if it contradicts itself. And if the topic is really important, you have to bring in a human expert. Always treat the AI like a brilliant but sometimes unreliable intern. And if you're still not convinced you need to fact-check, get this. A recent study found that 76% of news-related answers from a major AI were full of significant problems. This isn't just about one tool, it's an industry-wide challenge. At the end of the day, the buck stops with us. And that brings us to the finish line. We've gone all the way from the frustration of getting bad results to having a clear, repeatable, and responsible way of working with AI. You now know how to protect your data, how to build prompts that actually work, and most importantly, how to critically review the results. You're not just a passive user anymore, shouting questions into the void. You are now an active collaborator, armed with the tools to direct these incredible AI models with precision and with purpose. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build with it? The potential is all yours.